Good morning, Diplo. How are you guys this morning? Let me adjust the light real quick. Make sure you guys aren't getting blinded. Okay. Hopefully that's okay. Good morning. All right. How are you guys this morning? Good morning, Gladys. Good morning, Turner. How are you? Let me grab my water real quick. Okay. All right. So I am doing a totally different live this morning. I never talk about my story or my success stories that I have with my clients. And so I really wanted to bring that up today. Good morning, Lisa. Hopefully you guys are having a great middle of your week, almost to the weekend. All right. So yeah, again, totally doing a different life today. Again, I never really talk about the success stories or my personal story, and I just felt it was important to do so. So if you guys have questions, please ask. I do two different things. Well, three technically. So I'm a holistic nutritionalist. Okay. I also do spiritual life coaching, and I'm also an exercise science specialist. So basically a very fancy, educated personal trainer is what that means. And so I've been doing this for decades, helping people. And I decided that, I was dealing with a lot of, even men too, but mainly the majority was women going through, premenopause, menopause, postmenopause, just dealing with a lot of hormonal issues and gut health issues. And when you're dealing with something like that, you can only get so far with a really good diet and, a great workout routine, right? There's only so many changes that you can do. And so when that happens and you've hit that plateau, you have to remember, listen to your body. What is going on with my body? What are my hormones doing? What is my gut health doing? And at that point, you have to dig a little bit deeper on what's going on. Okay. So just a little backstory on myself. All right. Years and years of being in the fitness industry, I thought I was eating great. I thought I was doing, what was right. I was looking at the science of everything. I've done strongman competitions, as you can see, and bodybuilding competitions, right, for many, many years. And so with strongman, I'm eating a ton of food, right? Getting in that calorie intake so I can pull fire trucks, do Atlas stones, all sorts of crazy things, right? And then on the other flip side of it, I was doing bodybuilding shows where you really have to limit, your caloric intake. You have to watch what you're doing. So it's two totally separate entities there. And so not only that, I had a few other things going on internally, okay? And so a couple years back, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It got so bad that I had neuropathy on my both upper limbs, but really bad on my right hand, okay? To the point where I couldn't even hardly hold a fork. Thank you so much for those likes. And so not only was I dealing with those things, I was dealing with, ulcers, kidney, liver issues. I had kidney issues since I was a little girl, okay? And I talk about that a little bit with getting those vitamins in. So like B6, if you're dealing with kidney issues, you can actually have a deficiency in vitamin B6. So I talk about vitamins all the time. All right. But, not only that, I had some depression going on there, some anxiety going on there that just was kind of par with my hormones being out of whack. I also have diverticulitis. Okay, so that's my backstory. Again, walking billboard looking like health, right? You do not have to be overweight to be unhealthy. You do not have to look like you have something going on, because remember, it all starts internally, right? And so the thought process I went through with going through all this was, man, okay, I'm eating right, I'm hitting the gym, I'm doing everything I feel like is right. What do I need to look at to change? So I started looking into my gut health heavily, okay? And so with that, I found a couple different nutritional companies, and one of them was Unicity. I was very skeptical at first with it because I'm like, I am not a person that believes that this is going to fix a whole lot, okay? And I'm still not a believer that there is one thing in this world that is going to fix anything. You have to incorporate everything as a whole: nutrition, fitness, stress, sleep, supplements. You have to incorporate that all. Even spirituality. I mean, you've got to incorporate all of it, right? Good morning, Jason. You're at a 6.1? Wow, that's amazing. Good job. I am so proud of you. That is phenomenal. Congratulations. That's wonderful news. So that's my backstory on my health issues that I was facing, okay? And again, you can look at somebody and they might look like, oh, they're perfect. What do they have to do? Totally wrong. Just get rid of that thought, because that is not the case, all right? So I'm going to share some stories. That's my story. I have reversed my type 2 diabetes. I'm no longer on gabapentin for my neuropathy. No depression, anxiety meds. I am not on any type of medication right now, which is phenomenal, okay? Of course, I do work with a holistic doctor for all this. So if you guys are working with a doctor, just always make sure you're consulting with your physician, all right? What I'm giving is not medical advice at all, so please don't go there. It is just sharing what I have done and what I've done for my clients and other people out there to start making a better lifestyle, just completely reversing your health, okay? And so when I found this system, it's very simple. And what I did when I found this system is I started looking at all the ingredients. I started looking at all the supplement facts. What are the vitamins in this? Again, because I'm a holistic nutritionalist, I'm a very firm believer, when you're lacking those vitamins, those minerals, and the nutrients, your body cannot become healthy and it cannot fight off those diseases that you're going through. And when you're insulin resistant, your body will not absorb those vitamins and minerals, okay? So some of the key components, let me start with the balance and give you a little bit of an idea of what is in it and how it helps to reverse the insulin resistance. Now, remember, you guys, you have to incorporate changing your nutrition, being more physically active. You can't rely on this just alone, but it is a phenomenal tool to get your body to absorb those vitamins and minerals and start reversing your insulin resistance, so you get the energy to be able to go out and enjoy the outdoors, right? And sleep better, okay? So with the balance, I go over the B vitamins all the time that it has in it. So B vitamins are not just for energy, you guys. B vitamins really play a role in how you metabolize your carbs, your fats, your proteins, even folic acid. I mean, that's going to help you building your DNA, right? So there's a lot of vitamins that play a very significant role in making sure that your organs can function properly, your hormones, and your gut health, all right? But not only the vitamins, the fiber that's in it is so different and unique. It's not a Metamucil, it's not a Benefiber. Those are single source insoluble fibers, okay? So what is in this one is a soluble and insoluble. Let me explain the difference here. So insoluble fiber is going to be the fiber that's going to help you with going to the bathroom, all right? So if you're constipated, you've got hemorrhoids, things of that nature, and it will also help you with diverticulitis or diverticulosis, okay? So just a minute. Okay, so that was a big one for me. All right, so that's insoluble fiber, and it does not expand in water or bile acid. So when you're getting soluble fibers, this is the fiber that's really going to help prevent specific diseases, heart disease, things of that nature, your blood sugar levels, okay? Now, this fiber, soluble fiber, when it hits water or bile acid, it expands. So it forms a gel-like substance, and it expands in your belly, and it coats your belly, okay? So that way, it's going to slow down that absorption of those carbohydrates that you're eating, all right? Those of you that have ever heard of like the glycemic index or the glycemic load, and I apologize, I don't know why the lighting keeps going dark and light in here. It's very weird. So, it's almost kind of tricking that in a sense. And if you are currently paying attention to the glycemic index, scratch that completely. I want you guys to look up the glycemic load. You can get on my mailing list, and I shoot out information like that all the time. Glycemic load charts, vitamins, recipes, things of that nature. I will show you how to get on my mailing list here in just a little bit after this live, okay? Okay, so that is that balance supplement that I incorporated with all the other changes I started to do, all right? So I started to notice a little bit of a difference when it came to my neuropathy. A1C started to reverse back down. My diverticulitis started to calm down a little bit. I wasn't super bloated all the time and doubling over in pain after I would eat specific foods. I am still a little touchy with broccoli. I do have to watch broccoli. Be totally honest. It's something that won't 100% go away, but I can definitely manage it better now, okay? Now, let's talk about that second component of the supplement, and that is, I don't have a lemon one in here. Most of you probably see a yellow packet, but this is that Unimate. Now, I talk a little bit about fasting, and I never used to believe in fasting because I came from the old school bodybuilding mentality, right? Eat every couple hours. And so when I started to do a little bit of fasting, we all fast while we sleep, all right? So I started with 12 hours, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Then I started with 14 hours, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then I started to switch what types of foods I was breaking my fast with. So instead of waking up and breaking my fast with like eggs and potatoes or oatmeal and a protein shake, I was doing just protein and some fat. So maybe it was eggs and avocado. Maybe it was a protein shake. So I started switching that. And I was realizing, okay, all right, so my key goal to reversing all this is keeping my insulin low, okay? And we all know carbs spike up that insulin, whether it's complex or simple, okay? Complex is the more healthier carbs, simple is more sugary carbs, all right, for those of you that are unaware. And so when you wake up and you're still in that fasted state, I started drinking this Unimate in the morning, all right? Well, for one, I'm a huge coffee drinker, so it was kind of hard for me to get out of put the coffee aside with all my coffee creamer and just drink this tea. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll try it. What can I lose? There's a 90-day money back guarantee, whatever, I'll try it. It's my health. And so I'd wake up, I would drink this tea, and I started noticing that I had a little bit more sustained energy, okay? I was able to think a little bit more clear, and I wasn't craving foods or getting hungry as quickly as I used to, really wanting to get that carb intake, especially with my intense workouts, okay? And so what is in that Unimate that plays such a significant role to help your body with your metabolic health, even your physical fitness, as well as fat burning? So we've got chlorogenic acids that are in there. They are just a wide range of health benefits, okay? So for one, with metabolic health, you're starting to correct your cholesterol, your triglycerides, your blood glucose levels, and your A1C, okay? So that was huge for me because I was dealing with that. Not only that, but the amino acids that are in that Unimate, there's 7 out of 10. We only produce so many in our body. So remember when I mentioned earlier in this live, you've got to, when you're insulin resistant, you can't absorb those vitamins and minerals. And so I started to notice a big difference just in my overall mood, my energy. And I'm like, okay, this feels pretty good. I could take vitamins until I'm blue in the face and nothing's really going to happen because my body is just rejecting trying to absorb those. All right. So that is something I started to incorporate into my eating healthy. I have always, been very active, so I just kept doing what I was doing in that area. I did have to work on sleep, and I did have to work on my stress. All right, they play a huge role, and let me tell you, it was not easy. And that's when I started to dive in a few years ago with being a life coach, because I'm like, all right, I've got to learn something for me, and once I get it down, I can help others, with their stress, their just everyday life things that are going on. Okay. And so, again, like I said, it is a phenomenal starter tool. And I know you guys have probably seen many people out there talking about them not switching anything. All right. But if you really want that overall health, you have to make those changes as a whole. All right. And I'm not putting any of those people down. They're doing phenomenal. I'm so proud of them. But if you're looking at very long-term goals, like you really want to build a life of health, you have to make all those changes in all those areas, okay? And again, if you guys have questions, please ask. If you guys are, on a health journey, I would love to hear your stories. I get super excited when you guys succeed, all right? So feel free to share your stories on here. I will be more than happy to have them on here, okay? All right. So I'm going to share with you, I have a website pulled up. This one is pertaining to unicity, but I do want to show you some of the stories of my own personal clients that I have worked with on my personal site. But this is just, so this website I'm going to show you, I send this site out to everybody I work with. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light in here, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see, without having a major glare. All right. Yeah, I think that's okay. Sort of better. All right. So, this website is where you can go. If you have you can always contact me for questions, but if you want to post a question out in the group, if you want to share your story, if you want to look at other people's journeys, this site is going to be a site you're going to want to go to see that. So I'm going to flip the camera around. It is on my laptop, so it's going to be a little smaller today. I will zoom in the best I can. And share this with you guys here. So, okay. All right, let me zoom in just a little bit here. All right, so I want to go over this individual's person here. Now, and again, everybody's journey is different. It took me 5 months. This person is seeing something in 6 days. You guys, it took me 5 months. I had some serious medical issues going on internally, all right? So everybody's different. Please do not compare yourself to anybody, all right? So this particular individual, 6 days ago, very diabetic, insulin, heavy medication. All right. And so this person had started 6 days prior. Now, 6 days into it, their sugar level came down drastically. Never had this person seen 2 digits on their monitor. Okay. So everybody's story is different. It's phenomenal. There's one story there. All right. So I want to share another one here. Let's see here. This one was pretty awesome too. Okay, so this individual, again, it took me 5 months. These people are seeing some stuff that are just crazy, all right? 2 weeks. Again, everybody tries it for different reasons. This individual had migraines, gut health issues, and there was a big difference for this person. A lot more energy, no more anxiety, all right? That's same with me though. My anxiety dropped down tremendously. All right. 4 days with the system, that was gone. Acid reflux, that was another thing I personally was dealing with. All right. So all that is gone. All right. They're happier. Depression is going away. They had COVID last year and started to get chest pains that would mimic a heart attack, right? And she would get that every day, and that was gone just after 4 days of being on the system. Absolutely phenomenal. This individual was a stay-at-home mom to a 4-year-old. Okay, so everybody's story is different. I just told you my story. My story is a little different than that, right? Jason's story is different. Jason's, down a bunch of weight. Yep, he was diabetic. He's off his meds, right? He's not doing the sleep apnea machine anymore. So everybody has different health issues going on, okay? And again, you've got to incorporate a couple different things here. So let's see. I was trying to see if I could find some pictures for you guys on their site. I don't think I found any pictures. Oh, there's actually a picture with this. Let's see if we can. Let's see if it'll show her picture up front. There, look at that. There's one of her pictures. Okay, that's a huge difference. Just even in the face, very, very happy. All right, so this individual had started last year in September. Hashimoto's, that's a huge one. I work with a lot of clients. Let me move this closer. There we go. Hypothyroidism is another one I work very closely with. All right. So this individual was dealing with Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism for over 20 years, diagnosed with PCOS, metabolic syndrome. Remember, metabolic syndrome, that's your triglycerides, your cholesterol, glucose, A1C, all right? So 10 years was battling those hormone changes, and this individual's in their 50s, all right? She's actually a registered nurse, all right? She really felt helpless, not being able to help herself, not only losing weight, but being able to control symptoms, having brain fog, joint pain, inflammation, hypertension, anxiety, depression. All right. So this individual is now off 13 medications, which is amazing. Her TPO antibodies are the lowest they've ever been in 20 years. She went from over 3,000 to 400. Her triglycerides are down from 216 to 82. That's your metabolic health. LDL down from 144 to 93. She's now 42 pounds lighter. Okay. Absolutely phenomenal stories. Again, I never share stories, and I don't know why I don't share these more often, because they're so amazing. Again, everybody has their own journey. Okay. And it's not just about weight. I don't want you to think that this is all about weight, because it is not a weight loss supplement. It is something that internally is going to turn your life around, so you actually can start seeing those changes. All right. When our body is so jacked up with our hormones and our gut health, we can't move our weight. We start packing on more weight. All right. So I wanted to share a couple of these stories with you guys. I felt that it was incredibly important today. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I do many, many different things to help people out. I found that having that complete circle is incredibly important. If you guys do want to contact me for any reason at all, let me show you here. This is my TikTok profile page here. If you click on Linktree/ChristyFit, okay, this is my Linktree. You can contact me here for more info. Let me show you what it looks like. If you do not feel comfortable putting in an address or a date of birth, you do not have to. Just try and give me as much information as you think I would need for when we do talk, okay? All right, so you can fill that out and contact me. If you do want to get the system and work with me personally, you will have to click on my link right here, this second one. I have a Facebook group, and then I do have a little bit more information on the system. And I have my other social media apps up here as well too, okay? So I want to, let me bring in another, I want to take you to my page. All right. Let's see if we can get the internet to go a little quicker here. Sorry about that. So that's the Feel Great stuff. Okay. Now this is one of my business sites here. All right. So if you go over to testimonials, I have my journey, I have programs, and I have worked with many different walks of life. Again, it's not just all about just nutrition and going and hitting the gym. Sometimes that's not enough. We've really got to get down to the root of the problem here. Let me zoom in on hers. I absolutely adore hers. All right, there we go. So big changes. I love my clients. I love working with them, all ages, doing phenomenal, building their confidence. I have tons of testimonials here for you guys. Check those out. Let's see, I have a few more on About To as well. Let's see. Oh, I thought I did. Maybe it's programs. Okay, so if you want to check out my programs here, I do have another link with the Feel Great system. I do have a work at home banded workout, but I have lots of phenomenal recipe packs that you guys can check out. And again, if you want to jump to the site, all you have to do is just type in christyfit.com or christy.fit. You can get to it either way, okay? But I just wanted to show you, some of the phenomenal testimonials that we have experienced. So here's another one of the cravings. I had a huge sweet tooth. So this one I can relate to 100%. 12 days in, not craving any sweet things as much, which is awesome. She's discovered Snickers dates, and having one of those after lunch is just perfect. That's great. I love it, you guys. It's all in moderation, okay? And again, the balance really helps you because it restores a hormone called leptin. Leptin is our natural portion control. And so she's experiencing, she doesn't have to eat as much as she used to. This individual didn't get the gas or bloating. Some people do because it is, it's got that soluble, insoluble fiber in there. So again, everybody just has their own journey going on here, which is phenomenal. Okay. All right, let me flip it back around. All right. So any questions on any of that? Any questions on my personal journey, any of my clients' journeys? Please share your journey if you choose to. Again, if you choose to get on the system and work with me, I have that link in my Linktree bio. If you do not get a message from me, please send me a message on TikTok or fill out my form and say, hey, Christy, I didn't get an email from you. That's going to be very important, okay? Now, I really wanted to focus today on just success stories, my story of everything I've been through. We've got a lot going against us, especially with our modern food environment right now, what they've done to our food. Those of you that know I'm very open about, I don't trust the government on what they've done with our food, and look at our water now. They're stripping our food of a lot of minerals, vitamins, and fiber. We actually need to prevent these chronic diseases causing us to be very, very sick, okay? And so anything I can do to get my body to absorb these vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, I'm going to do, because I know I'm not getting them all from my food because of that reason, okay? And even if you're totally fine, maybe that's not, how you think, and that's great too. This is still a phenomenal system for you to start getting your health back, all right? Before you end up in the hospital, before you end up on a lot of meds you really don't want to end up on, okay? I do have many stories with even children, pregnant women, nursing women. So keep in mind, this is not just for an adult, okay? I actually have a lot of clients, a lot more now that are under 16, coming up, females with PCOS, obesity, diabetes even. You do not have to be diabetic to be on that system or have insulin resistance, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? So it doesn't matter how old you are to be on that system. It's all plant-based. It's all natural. There's nothing that's going to interfere with your medication either. So continue on those. Talk with your doctor as you go through using the system. You guys can discuss on either lowering a dose or hopefully getting off that med, right? That's the goal, okay? Become healthier, all right? So any questions on any of that at all? I love questions, so please ask. I think Jason's kind of in and out, but like I had mentioned earlier, I think he's at a 6.1 today. I don't have his exact numbers right here in front of me, so my apologies. But I can send you guys that link for the group website there. You guys can check out all those stories. We are patented. We are scientifically backed, so we're on the PDR.net. Actually, the only product that's natural on the PDR. If those of you guys that are in the medical field or maybe just do a lot of research for yourselves have heard of the PDR.net. And so that is really important. That's where a lot of physicians go to look up medications, the interactions with other medications, the studies. So it's very critical that if you are going to take something or try something new, do the research on it, you guys. I encourage you to do research. Be skeptical of everything out there, all right? I am, especially nowadays, all right? Especially nowadays. So do your research on there. Contact me if you guys have questions. If you decide you want to jump on the system, absolutely amazing. I would be ecstatic to help coach you through it and help you on the nutrition side. And again, I love to incorporate that spiritual life coaching too. So if that's something that you're interested to combine with that coaching, we can definitely look into that as well. So any questions for me? I know it was a very short live today, but I felt it was very important to go over those success stories and how critical they are. So yeah, let me know. Hi, how are you? Good morning. I don't know if it's morning where you're at, but it's 10:20 here, still morning. So thank you so much for the likes. But yeah, it's definitely changed my life. Absolutely it has. And like I said, I look like I should be a walking billboard for perfect health with everything I've done. That doesn't mean anything, you guys. You've got to look internally on what's going on. Just because you or somebody else looks healthy on the outside does not mean they are. All right. And when you have insulin resistance, most people have no clue you're even insulin resistant. And for so many years, I'm so thankful more information is getting out. More doctors are looking into insulin resistance, because for years, when I would mention insulin resistant or syndrome X, people would be like, well, I'm not diabetic. Guys, you do not have to be diabetic. That is actually a disease that comes about when you are insulin resistant, okay? So keep that in mind. I'm going to text you since I'm late. Yes, perfect. Absolutely. Send me a text. Yes. So you're an hour behind. So let me know if you guys have questions. You guys know how to contact me. Let me just show you one more quick time. It's going to look backwards. I'm not going to flip the camera, so I apologize. So just go to my main TikTok page and then click on that Linktree/ChristyFit. Once you click on that, it'll take you to my Linktree that looks like this. Contact me here. You can grab that product for me. I have a Facebook group. Guys, I am so sorry. I am not the best at posting in that Facebook group. I promise I will get a lot better at it, okay? Great question. So question is, how can you find out if you're insulin resistant? There's a couple different ways. I'm going to flip you guys around really quick, and let me open up my big computer here. I'm going to go over just a couple little things. So with this, let's see if it'll pull up for you guys. Oh boy. Okay. All right. I think it'll stay. My gosh, computers, right? Okay. All right, we are going to flip you around. Let me move. All right, so if you are insulin resistant, you guys. Okay, let me flip you. There we go. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, let me know if the glare is too bad, and I will fix that for you. All right, so how do you know if you're, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. What is going on? All right, Technology is supposed to make life easier, isn't it? It does not make life easier. Okay, no peeking at my password. Just kidding. You guys can't even see it. All right. So, oh my gosh. Okay, I give up. I'm just going to tell you. All right. So, if you guys are insulin resistant, so you might be struggling with fatigue, cravings for sugar or salty foods. Maybe you have some belly fat going on. All right. PCOS is a big one. Cholesterol, triglycerides, all the diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is big as well. Neuropathy, kidney disease, blindness. So if you're some signs that people dismiss all the time as being fatigued. So if you're always tired, no matter what you do, if your hormones are off balance, if your gut health is off balance, those are going to be some big issues that you're dealing with, okay? So you can go to a website. I'm going to use my iPad because I know it's not going to ask me for that verification. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to flip it and show you my iPad. So this is a website you can go to. It is called thebloodcode.com, and you want to put /calculator. Okay, so if you get your basic blood work in, let's see if you guys can see this. All right, there you go. Sorry about the glare. So you can type in your numbers here, and it actually gives you ranges. So a range of 1 to 1.9 is normal. Above a 1.9 is early insulin resistance. Above a 2.9 is significant insulin resistance. And then remember when I mentioned earlier, so heart disease is also part of insulin resistant. So you can enter in your blood work here again, and it gives you the ranges. So some insulin resistance is 2 to 3. Significant insulin resistance and heart disease risk is found at greater than 2. And again, that is the bloodcode.com/calculator. Okay. All right. Let me flip it around again. So you can also ask your doctor. I'm actually going to completely move around here because that sun is just driving me bonkers today. Okay. So you can also ask your doctor to run a test for insulin resistance as well too, but it can get kind of costly. So be cognizant of that, or maybe insurance won't pay for it. So the bloodcode.com/calculator is a phenomenal website that you guys can actually go to, type in your own blood work, and see if you are insulin resistant, okay? Yes, yep, just like the bloodcode.com/calculator. Yep, just what Jason said there. So take those lab results, go to that website. It's much easier to do it on that website. But if you want to do it on paper, you can totally do that as well too. So you're just dividing, like it showed on this website, you're just dividing those triglycerides and by your HDL. All right, so make sure you're just following those ranges. It'll give you some information too on those ranges as well. Hopefully that helped you, all right? But pay attention to your body. If you've got something going on, you're always tired all the time, you're craving sugary, salty foods, anything I missed on that, Jason, since I can't pull up any of my charts for some reason. Horrible. I think it's because I cleared all my history this morning. All right. But yeah, there's multiple ways that you can, let me grab this book too. There's multiple ways you can find out if you're insulin resistant. Why We Get Sick by Benjamin Bickman is an amazing book as well. He has tremendous information about insulin resistance, all right? The diseases it causes, even cancers. I will show you guys on some of my other lives. Those of you guys that have joined me, you'll see that I'll show you off of Harvard. They do studies with fiber, breast cancer, colon cancer. So we're not getting a lot of that from our food. So that's where you're seeing a lot of these diseases are popping up, all right? Dr. Benjamin Bickman also has a couple, let's see if I can find them for you guys, of good websites. Yes. Okay, I am going to flip the camera and show you guys this so you can write it down. So if you don't have insurance, or your doctor won't allow you to have it, if you go to labtestsonline.org, okay, The cost is going to be around, you just go in, you send in your blood work, and it should cost you around 30 to 60 bucks to do that testing. Okay. So again, it's labtestsonline.org. There's also, walkinlab.com. All right. So write those down, you guys. Go to those websites, get your blood work done at a local testing place, and then you just request that blood to go directly to one of those two places, and it should only cost you around $30 to $60, okay? So that's another way that you guys can find out if you have insulin resistance. And that book you can just get off of Amazon. 15 bucks, or if you like audiobooks, I can't focus on audiobooks. I'm thinking about everything else. But that is free for audiobook. But the best book I think I've ever read. I love his information. He's also on YouTube too, so you guys can also check him out there. Any questions off of any of that I just mentioned at all? And when it comes to the success stories, I just want to reiterate, don't compare yourself to somebody else. We all, Why We Get Sick by Dr. Benjamin Bickman. We all have a different level of health issues going on, okay? Not one person is going to be the same. Not one size fits all, not even when it comes to nutrition, all right? We're all very different and very unique. Our bodies operate differently. Our hormones are different. We have different things going on, even genetics, ethnicity, our stress is different in our life. So when you see somebody that's having this phenomenal success and you're like, why is it taking me so long? That was me. Why is it I should know better of all people, right? It took me 5 months. And I still sometimes battle with a couple little things, but it's just my choices, right? But keep in mind that you've got to give yourself some patience, all right? Be gentle with yourself. How long did it take you to get to that point? It's going to take you a while to get out of that point. It's kind of like if you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, okay, most of us have no idea until about 90% of our liver is completely destroyed, okay? If you are consistent with totally changing your health, your nutrition, your supplementation, it'll take you about 2 to 3 years to completely regenerate that liver and reverse all that. The liver is the only organ in the body that's 100% it can regenerate itself, all right? So keep that in mind. You've got to give your body some time. Some people just move a little bit quicker because maybe their insulin resistance isn't as drastic as others, all right? Or maybe you're not making those lifestyle changes like somebody else is, so it's taking a little bit slower, okay? So keep in mind. Oh, good. Yes. I'm so excited for you to read it. It's so easy to read. I have so many things highlighted in there. It's just a good reference. And the cool thing too is, and I have this on my membership site, I have a lot of recipe stuff for you guys, but he'll go over an expanded food list. It's pretty amazing. He'll even go over some breakfast ideas and some lunch ideas in here for you guys. So I absolutely love this book. It is phenomenal. Yeah, so I'm excited. You're going to have to let me know what you think of it when you start reading into it. So it's a great book. The other one that I like it, but it's not quite my favorite is... don't get me wrong, there's great information, but it really more tailors to diabetics. Jason Fung, the Diabetes Code. So that's another good one. But I really find that Dr. Benjamin Bickman, Why We Get Sick, really talks about insulin resistance as a whole, not just pertaining to being diabetic. So if you're bouncing back and forth between the two, I would highly recommend going with Jason Bickman, okay? Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, let me show you how you guys can get on. Here, I'm actually going to, this is one thing I don't need a password reset for. Let me show you on the big computer here. So this website, and it probably won't pop up here, but I'll show you. This is how you can get on my mailing list. And I will be sending out my membership site here shortly. So again, click on the Linktree/ChristyFit. If you go to this bottom link here, so my website will pop up, should pop up. Oh my goodness, you guys, what is going on today? Okay, we're just gonna pop it up in the, so click on the bottom one. All right, that's the link that you guys want to click. And then it's going to take you to, I'll show you my other website, not the Christy Fit one, but let's see here. Let me pop it up. All right, there it is. Okay. All right. So it's going to pop up my website here, this one. And when you click on that fourth link in my link tree, so if you fill this out right here, if you guys can see that, there you go. So if you fill this out here, you'll be placed on my mailing list. And I try and send out, oops, sorry about that. I try and send out emails each week. I'm a little behind this week, so my goal is right after this live, I'm going to get a couple of videos out, and then I am going to send out an email to you guys, all right? Let's see. I want to know if their insulin resistance is only through blood tests. Not necessarily. I mean, if you go get your metabolic panel done, okay? And I showed you the website, thebloodcode.com/calculator, okay? So you enter in your triglycerides, you enter in your LDL, and it'll give you a range that you should be in to see if you're insulin resistant or if you also have that heart disease, okay? So signs that you guys can look out for, a couple signs I did not mention physically that you can look out for. If you have skin tags, okay? If you have ashy skin, like your elbows are ashy, if you have skin discoloration, so if you notice like the dark patches on the back of your neck, maybe around your mouth, armpits, groin areas, on your knuckles, if you're starting to experience things like that, if you're having a lot of skin problems like acne, for us ladies, if we're getting excess facial hair or hair on our chest or back, those are going to be physical, like actual signs you can see of things going on, all right? If you're always craving sugary or salty foods, you're always hungry, you know, you've got that blood sugar roller coaster bouncing up and down, PCOS, PMS, infertility, things of that nature, high triglycerides, cholesterol. Those are things that you're going to want to pay attention to, okay? All the different diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, if you have some stomach fat that you can't get rid of. And again, you guys don't have to be severely overweight. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Maybe it's just a little pooch in front of your stomach that won't go away no matter what you do. And you've been told it's age or hormones, okay? You can reverse all that, all right? So there are ways. Doctors don't get a lot of schooling on nutrition. I think a day or two max, like very basic. So when you go to see doc, they really don't give you a lot of information on, hey, you should change this, or hey, you should probably try this, okay? So start really looking at, and again, this is something I send out on my emails with my mailing list, is start looking at different types of foods, how they affect your body. I sent out an email a couple weeks ago about the glycemic load and the glycemic index. I will do a repeat of that for all those new ones coming in on my email list for you guys. So just start paying attention to that. You know, are you really stressed in your life? Are you lacking sleep? You know, those all play a significant role in becoming insulin resistant, all right? And again, for many, many years, people thought it was just about diabetes. It is not. All right. So that is just one of the chronic diseases that can occur when you are insulin resistant. All right. There is a ton of them that can come about. Hopefully that answered your question. Lexi, I have a ton of videos too that will explain how to tell if you're insulin resistant and some of the websites that you can go to see if you are insulin resistant. All right. Any other questions for me, you guys, at all? Starting to lose my voice a little bit. Sorry about that. Again, too, let me just finish up with this. So when you do order that system, you're very welcome, Lexi. So there's two, let me show you. See if it'll pop up. Oh, look, now it pops up on here. I tell you, some days technology kills me. Okay. All right. So I'm going to click this link again here that's in my profile. And I'm actually going to take you, if you click on the second link, I want to show you something, okay? It'll probably take an hour just to load. Oh, look, it didn't. Okay, so you should see my name there at the top when you come to this site here. So you'll click on Buy Now. All right. So, sorry, there's a glare. You guys, hopefully you can see a little bit more than just my glare here. So it gives you two options here. The one-time purchase and then a monthly subscription. There's no obligation to that monthly subscription, but I want to talk about that Bone Fortify that you guys are getting, okay? So let me talk about that real quick. Let me flip the camera around. Okay. So not only are you getting these fibers, the vitamins, those amino acids, but for your first time subscription, they're going to send you this Bone Fortify. And my last live on Monday, I did a live on Monday, I talked about vitamin K and the importance of vitamin K. So when you're taking a D, you've got to have a K with that as well too. Not only do those help with your bone, like osteoporosis, things of that nature, but guess what also vitamin K does? All right, it also helps with your glucose. And it actually also helps with your natural testosterone as well too. So this is a phenomenal product. I don't know if you guys can see there. I'm sorry, it's a little backwards. But all the different vitamins that are also in this one as well too. It tastes amazing. If you struggle with drinking water, it makes drinking water much better. Just throw it in your water. Drink it any time of the day. Very, very simple to have, okay? Now, when you do, or if you decide to order that system from me, I will make sure to send you out my ebook on exactly how to take it, some videos that are pretty short, but they will help you out explaining exactly the process of what goes into the balance and the Unimate, all right? So again, a big one that I love that's in the balance is chromium as well too. So chromium also helps with balancing out that glucose as well. Some of you, I've had some people on here that have been in weight loss clinics and they've actually been prescribed chromium to help with that too, okay? So between the B vitamins, the chromium, the folic acid, the zinc, you're getting everything you pretty much need minus like omega-3s. So I take an added omega-3 and sometimes an extra vitamin C, just depending on if somebody is sick around me, I pop some extra C, okay? But these are my vitamins. That's what I take minus omega-3, okay? So you want it, so potassium and K are actually two different things there. I wonder if I actually have a K. Okay, let me switch this around. I'm going to explain something to you between potassium and K. So I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to like the periodic table. Sorry, I'm going to adjust this so you can see. All right, so when it comes to potassium and vitamin K, potassium is actually inorganic, okay? And so on the periodic table, with that being inorganic, it is not the same as K. K is actually organic. So there's going to be some different things there that you want to look out for. So instead of doing that potassium, you're going to want to throw in an actual K, like a K2 is what you're going to want to throw in, okay? And so let me explain a little bit about K for a second here. So this is harvard.edu, vitamin K. You guys can look this up if you choose to, all right? So when it comes to vitamin K, all right, I don't want to look over. It's got a role in calcification, aortic stenosis. So you want to be cognizant that even taking too much K can be a little bit detrimental. It can also interfere with certain medications, all right? And so always consult your doctor when it comes to that. I just want to say that before I start explaining this, okay? And as I mentioned earlier with our Western diet, the way our food is being produced, it's leaving us more prone to different nutritional deficiencies, all right? So again, we always try to go with whole foods, but sometimes that doesn't work because they're being stripped of that. And getting those vitamins and nutrients in are extremely important to maintain, our life, our functions, our chemical reactions in our body, all right? And especially those life-sustaining proteins, all right? And so vitamins are divided into certain categories: fat soluble, water soluble. So vitamin A, D, E, and K are going to be your fat soluble, and like B's are going to be your water soluble. So potassium and K can actually be confused because the elements. So vitamin K is organic compound, and then potassium is represented by vitamin K on the periodic table, but that's inorganic, all right? So you have to remember to make that distinction. Go for a true vitamin K, not just that potassium, all right? No, I actually get my omega-3s through Unicity. I do want to have a conversation with you, though, about that Mary Ruth, because that is something I have started to incorporate into my daily routine. And again, you guys, I am not someone that, let me flip this around. Oops, sorry, guys. Let me tighten it. Otherwise, the camera's going to go straight to the ground. Okay. So I am not someone that discriminates against different companies per se. I always look at the evidence, the backing, the scientific backing. There are certain things that I don't agree with, like Optivia, Beachbody, just because how processed everything is. But that's my personal opinion. I've done my research on it. Again, you guys go do your research. But I love the Unicity stuff. If you do want to, I do have the link to purchase Unicity in my bio, my main page. I will be posting the Mary Ruth link here very shortly, so you guys can get a discount code for that, okay? So I am partnered with them. And I absolutely love what they have to offer. And one thing that caught my attention with them is they really hone in heavy on like kids and their health and vitamins, okay? And so that to me is incredibly important. So if the company has something great to offer, I am definitely going to blast it out there regardless, whatever company it is. I am not partial to one or the other, okay? So I just want that to be clear. I know a lot of people are on here, but I am not. And that is because between my experience, my education, my background of what I do, I have researched a lot of different companies and a lot of different things. And if I feel that it's going to benefit my clients, I'm going to share that with you guys, okay? So I just want that to be clear as I talk about, success stories and the Feel Great system. That is not my only go-to, all right? I believe there's other things that are just as phenomenal out there as well, all right? Any other questions for me? I know I kind of went off topic with the success stories today, but that's okay. I love it. Any other questions you guys have for me, whether it's regarding the balance, the Unimate, maybe nutrition, any of that, any vitamins that you guys are curious about. And again, I have a video on all of the vitamins that are in balance and all the vitamins that are in Unimate. I have a lot of videos of other vitamins that you need to incorporate. minus what is in these, all right? And things that you can do nutrition-wise, even some small fixes, even with your water, intermittent fasting, keto. I have lots of videos on all that to help you guys out, okay? All right, if there are no other questions, I am gonna hop off here and get those videos out to you guys and start working on an email to blast out to you as well. Those of you that missed it, if you just go to, if you want to get onto my mailing list, let me just show you how to do that really fast before I hop off here. Okay, it's gonna be backwards, my apologies. Just go to my main page. If you click on Linktree/ChristyFit, okay, it's going to take you to my link tree. You're going to click the very bottom one here. All right. And once you click that, it's going to pull up my site. Oh my word. It's supposed to pull up the site. And you guys can just fill out the form that pops up and you'll be put on my mailing list. So probably when I end the live, it'll pop up. It's still not popping up. So technology is apparently not liking me today while I do this live. That's okay. You guys get the drift. You know how to contact me. All right, you guys. I'm type 2 and I take 1 a day. And can I add on more vitamins? Great question, Brenda. Okay, type 2 diabetic, you take 1 a day. So I kind of explained, was it Monday that I explained the vitamins to you guys? So I'm going to use Walmart as an example because most of us knows what Walmart is. When you go to their vitamin section and you're looking at their wall of vitamins, minus Flintstone vitamins. This is so crazy. Just Flintstone, honestly, is a really good vitamin company. It sounds really weird. But when you look at all those vitamins, they all come from the same manufacturer. They just put a different label on there. So you got to look at the compound. The compounds are, most of the time you're going to be peeing out those vitamins, okay? Now, Brenda, because you're type 2, you're insulin resistant right there. All right. So because you're insulin resistant, your body's going to have a hard time absorbing those vitamins you're trying to take. So you now need to work on reversing your insulin resistance so you can actually start absorbing those vitamins. All right. And that is something that the Balance and the Unimante help doing, along with dietary changes, physical activity, monitoring your stress, monitoring your sleep, okay? So those are all things that you need to do, all right? So keep that in mind. And Brenda, if you do want to jump on that system with me, just go to that main page profile, click on Christy Fit Linktree, fill out my contact form first, and then if you decide you want to purchase that before you talk to me, you can, or you can talk to me. We can have a phone call and you can ask questions there, okay? My consultations are free. I do not charge for those. So if you do want to have a phone call and ask some questions, I am more than happy to do that with you, all right? Good, okay, good. But yeah, just diet changes, fixing up what you're eating, switching around different carbohydrates is going to be important for you. Water, even things like adding cinnamon to your diet is going to help. When it comes to that, okay? So little tiny small things that you guys can do on a daily basis to start reversing your insulin resistance should help, okay? Things like getting those vitamins in, like I mentioned earlier, when you have deficiency. So for example, I'm deficient in vitamin B6. That's because I've got a kidney issue from when I was younger. And if you notice, no matter what I do, there's some days are better, but like today, I've got very scaly lips. That's due to a vitamin B6 deficiency, all right? So, just keep in mind when you have little things like that going on, people are unaware that that's what it is. And that's from a B6 deficiency. You're very welcome, Brenda. So, even things like helping with fatty liver, taking the B1, the B2s, which is all in here, is going to help tremendously. Non-alcoholic fatty liver, that's another chronic disease that's associated with insulin resistance. I had that a few years ago. I explained what I went through at the beginning of this live. So I will actually probably do another video on it because it's been a long time. I think it's been since July since I've done a video on what I actually experienced. So I will get that out for you guys, so you can kind of get an idea that just because somebody looks healthy on the outside does not mean they're healthy on the inside. All right, just keep that in mind. Okay, it can sneak up on you really quick, like it did me. I had no idea. All right, I was not paying attention to those very minute signs that my body was hounding me, that was going on. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to hop off here, get those videos done for you, and get the email out for you guys. Thank you for joining me today, this morning with this live. I will be back on tomorrow morning. So if you guys have a specific topic you want me to talk about, please send me a message. If not, I'm gonna find a totally different topic today, and I will bring that up tomorrow with you. All right, you guys, take care. Thank you so very much for all your support, and I can't wait to help you on your health journey.